Welcome to another end of the week wind down, leaders. I'm super excited to have you here today, and I have somebody that is super special and dear to my heart. So I want you to stay tuned. She'll be here in just a minute, but I am your host, Dr. Tracy Simone, Queen of Clarity and Care, your go-to strategist, facilitator, and coach, helping social impact leaders get unstuck and get things done so that they can build a legacy worth that lasts. So we're going to do what we always do. We are going to anchor down in the Anchor Way. The Anchor Way is a leadership framework designed to help organizations move forward with clarity, connection, cohesion, and courage, even in turbulent waters. Let's take a closer look. Think about an organization like a boat. To move through uncertain waters, it will need to be well-built, well-guided, and well-powered. Every boat is built from something. At the foundation of every organization are three essential materials. Clarity, the shared understanding of where you are headed and why it matters. Connection, the trust, communication, and relationships that keep people interdependent upon one another and committed to the mission. And cohesion, the alignment between your values, your vision, and your daily decisions. This is what the boat itself is made of. Without it, the structure is fragile, no matter how powerful the engine or skilled the crew. Every boat needs a compass. In the Anchor Way, the compass represents your direction, your vision, your mission, and your strategic priorities. It helps you stay oriented even when external conditions shift. Next, the cargo, the actual work you're carrying, your programs, policies, culture, and commitments. The things you're delivering, building, protecting, or transforming. Finally, there's your crew, your people. From the executive team to the frontline leaders, the crew makes the journey possible. They need to be resourced, supported, and aligned to move forward together. Below the surface of every organization is the influence of the current, the external forces like policy shifts, funding pressures, or community needs that shape your course, whether you like it or not. And what propels the boat forward are two internal forces: care and courage. Care is how you lead with humanity. Courage is how you make hard decisions with integrity. Both are necessary to move through resistance and build something real. Every interview in this series is grounded in one or more parts of the Anchor Way because we believe leadership isn't just about vision, it's about structure, systems, and soul. All right, leaders, I am super excited to introduce you to my road dog, my friend for a lifetime. Me and Tasha have been down since preschool. I probably known Tasha since I was 4 years old. We have been leading alongside each other from the mini skirt club at elementary school to teaching people how to dance in the dugout. You remember that? And so she is a special guest here today, and she has been on a leadership journey for a lifetime. And I'm so excited for her to share with you her wisdom, her knowledge, and just to enlighten us today. So I'm going to pass the mic to Tasha so she can introduce herself formally, and then we'll hop right into the questions.
Okay. First of all, I am honored to be here. It is an immediate yes. Anytime Dr. Tracy Simone asks me for anything, it's a yes. So a little bit of background. I am all those things to her that she said. We have known each other since preschool. She is my childhood best friend, and we still do life together, and I'm grateful for that. Second, I am a sales coach, a consultant, and a speaker. But listen, my number one role is being a wife and a mom. Truly, that is that is the boat that we are constantly rowing here. And then all those other things become pieces of me. But I absolutely love what I do in the lane of sales, whether it's leading or even sometimes learning to follow. So I'm excited to talk about this topic of courage. And can I just say, you guys get a little dose with the intro of the brilliant mind behind this woman. Like when I saw that, I was like, oh my gosh, like it blows me away because that's not my lane. I'm not creative. Well, no, everybody is creative.
Yes.
God gives us creativity. Tracy tells me that. But hers, it blows my mind every time. So friend, what you have created and you have done, it will reach masses. And I'm so proud of you and honored to be here. Be a part
Thank
of it.
you. I'm so honored to have you. And listen, being a mother and a wife is two leadership roles all in and of themselves.
Okay.
And you didn't
Thank
even mention being a board for organizations. Like there's so many other ways you're showing up in this world to lead.
Yeah. A friend. Like, listen, I listen. Yeah. Yes and yes. It's always
Yes. So let's get into it. The first thing I want you to talk to me about is like a time when you had to choose your values. We're going to start hard.
yeah.
A time when you had to choose your values over something that was easy.
Oh, okay. So being a person that's been in sales, it's all I've ever done. Came out of college, thought I was going to go to med school, and I was like, nah, not interested in more loans, more school. I'm just going to go get a job, right? And came out and was in pharma sales, and then went into med device sales. And there are interesting things that happen in corporate sales. And I, at the time, was on the sales side, not the management side. But when you talk about your values, it is, for me, it's always easy because no matter what it could look like, I always say this to people, I don't care if it's got $1 million on it. If it's not in alignment with the Lord and my values and I can't lay my head down at night, I don't want it. And I am so serious about that because my peace and my name and how I show up and how people view me when I show up to lead, even if I'm not in a leadership position, means more to me, right? My integrity, my transparency, those things go into that. So I can remember a time specifically where something happened within sales and I had to choose my values over what would have gained me more money, and it would have been the wrong thing, to be honest, and it would have been out of integrity, and I'm that's never going to be worth it to me, never, never.
Hmm. Yeah, I love that, Tasha. I was so excited to have you. I forgot to even tell the topic, which is courage, and just listening to you like tell that story. It takes a lot of courage to make the hard choice over the easy choice, and to be like, that's not who I am. I don't care how much money it's gonna bring.
Yeah.
Like the money's gonna come. What I want to do is be in integrity with who I am and who I want to show up in the world as.
Yeah, it means everything to me, and you know this because we know our parents and how we've been raised. But it's like my mom was when I was younger. She was like, "Listen, my job is to teach you all the things, and what matters most is when you leave here, who are you? Like, do you know your name? Do you remember your faith? Are you anchored in these things? How do you show up for other people? Because that's how the world's going to view you, not me as your mom." Um, for those who don't know, I lost my dad when I was 2 months old. So it's just been me and my mom. So for me, my integrity and how I lead and also how I follow, no matter what position I'm in, it's everything to me. It is everything to me because my integrity, my values are the foundation that I
Yes,
operate.
yes. And your mama was my mama. So
Yeah,
my mama was your mama.
1000%. I spent more hours and years and time in eating through Miss Dumas's house than anyone else besides our own children.
Yes, and we were raised by some strong mamas that didn't play no games.
No games played at all. So I mean, I think that stuff sticks with you when you're held to that type of standard and understanding what values are. It's the same thing that we now are instilling in our boys.
Hmm.
Right? Values, the integrity. I don't think you lose that. So when you're raised with it, obviously you have decisions when you become an adult. And for me, those things are never negotiable.
Hmm. I think that's what makes great leadership too, is like having something to stick yourself to that holds you in the midst of like all the madness and the chaos. It's like this is who I am. This is how I show up no matter what.
I always say this. You faith wise, I say it big time, but even practically, everyone needs something that anchors themselves. If
Hmm.
you're anchored by something, right, you can be flying off doing a lot of things that you shouldn't be doing. So you need to be anchored and rooted in purpose, anchored and rooted in your values, anchored and rooted in your faith, right? So it's important and necessary to have that so that you don't lose yourself in this world or in opportunities or money or things because it looks real shiny, but that doesn't mean you lay down at night with your values, morals, integrity.
Hmm. Yes, yes. And another thing that takes courage is like the ability to move forward when there's doubt and there's fear. And I know like one of your wheelhouses is helping people through their fear. So can you talk to me a little bit about how you move forward when there's doubt and fear?
I think I'm literally instilling this in my son right now. And one, I have to say, it's my faith. I'm very clear about that. Like, I am not great. Like I know who I am and whose I am, and I understand the gifts that have been imparted to me. And so moving through fear, it's one, operating in my gift, right? Is owning my gift and having the courage to own the thing that I'm good at and knowing that it's not about me, right? So that's first, you have to deal with self. If you're a leader and you're leading someone, you have to deal with yourself first, an acknowledgement of, am I fully showing up, right? Whether it's building this business or building the back end or showing up in front of people or selling something to someone, whether it's a concept, service, product, whatever you're doing. And then second is, for me, being able to help people move forward through the doubt and the fear is like, it's the belief system that I have within myself of how I can support and help them, right? So it's like, I always say this, I can see in people what they can't see. And so for me as a sales coach, most people have great ideas and great concepts, but they are afraid to actually sell it. And so for me, it's helping them see the clarity and getting them out of the way. Because I think a lot of times when we're going after something, we get so absorbed with ourselves and, oh my gosh, I'm not good enough, or I'm not this, or who's going to believe me, or who would want this, or what's the thought, it's like, no, get out of the way, honor your gifting, and know that a gift is meant to be given and received by someone else, right? So it's like, I'm not operating in myself and whoa, no, I'm here on an assignment to serve someone else, to lead them out of their fear so that they can stand in their greatness. They get to show up, and selling is serving. So it's like, listen, when you understand that exchange, that, wow, what I'm selling is really to serve someone, again, I get to show them how to get out of the way. It's not about you. It's about honoring your gift and then parting that. And then when you do that, it ripples. But I think it takes one, it's faith for me, for sure. Two, it's mindset, right? Like, do you really believe? And three, humility, right? When to move through things with fear and doubt, you have to be humble, right? And you have to be transparent to say, this is what's bothering me. This is what I acknowledge it. And I'm going to process myself through it, because I can go through it, but I can't stick in it, right? Because when you stick with that fear and that doubt, you do nothing. It's okay to have it, but you got to move through the fear, right? And not wait on it to like dissipate. That there's no growth there.
Yeah, I love that, honey. Y'all see why she on here right now? All that magic, all those nuggets, all that wisdom. Something like what you said kind of just gave me chills, which is like a gift is meant to be given. Like it's not yours to hold on to. And what comes to mind to me is like the world is waiting on you. So like when you're holding on to this gift that you have as a leader, this vision that you have, there is a whole plethora of people out here waiting for you to show up because they can't move until you move.
Yeah. The other thing I tell my clients often is, I'm like, don't keep someone else's destiny trapped in your own mouth.
Mm, mm.
That thing that's in your mouth for you to speak about, to sell, to show up. This is even corporate. If you have the idea and you're at the table, it doesn't matter who's in the room, because that could unlock someone else or something in that room or an opportunity. So it's like, you've got to, again, get out of the way, have the courage, move through the fear and show up, because that literally unlocks things. And it's why we're meant to be here in community and in purpose with each other, right? Because everybody brings something to the table. And even as a leader, like knowing how to empower your people and giving them the permission, right? Is the permission to be afraid or doubtful and still speak.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
This topic and this thing that you're doing, I think is so powerful, and so many leaders get it wrong.
Yeah.
So wrong, because they think they're managing a person, or in sales they're driving the person to the number. I'm like, no. What you're really doing is you are coaching and supporting a human, and you
Yes.
may be the helm, right? You may have the compass in your hand and the boat that you showed us. You may be the visionary, but you got to have them to come
Yeah.
with you. And so
Yeah.
it's less about your goal and more about collectively, how do you support them and what they need to get to the goal, if you've chosen the right person and the
Mm-hmm.
right.
Yeah. It's that caring for your crew because
Yeah.
your crew is what's going to keep the boat moving. You can't move that boat by yourself. Even
Listen,
if you wanted to, you couldn't.
right? And being a leader that cares about your people more than you do about your thing, ugh, like those people will die on the hill for you. They'll go to bat for you because they know you care. Right?
Mm-hmm.
See that,
Mm-hmm.
like transparency, humility, courage. It's like just opening yourself up and getting out of your ego and your pride, like, goes so much further with your people than you putting on this facade. Like, I
Yeah.
digress. I
Can you
digress.
talk a little bit, like you touched on this, like being able to speak up, but can you talk more about like what helps you to speak up when it feels like risky or vulnerable and you're at a table and you know something needs to be said? Like what gives you the courage to speak up anyway?
That's good. Look, where does that come from? I think um, part of it is the way I'm wired. Tracy, you know this. I've always been a talker and somewhat of a leader, or like, and I've seen my mom do it. And I think being raised by just my mom, so being a widow, seeing my mom go through her struggles and being and having to be vulnerable and to ask for things, to be able to take the risk, it's like I don't know any other way because I myself am an only child, right? And so it's like you have to take risk. And it's more about, for me, understanding that being vulnerable and risk adverse, right? Like being willing to take the risk and being vulnerable, when you let people in on that, they are more than willing to help. And it also lightens the load. Like
Mm-hmm.
we are not meant to do this thing alone. So it's like the quicker, my husband just said it the other day, he's like, I don't know how you do that. He's like, I don't know how you will open it up. You'll call it what it is. I'm like, yeah, because how can I get the help that I need or be able to even reciprocate and help someone else if I'm not talking? And
Mm-hmm.
so for me, risk, I guess maybe I don't see it that way. Is sometimes, well, no, there are times when I know I'm in a risk situation, but again, my faith anchors me. I have to point to what am I there for? What's my purpose and my intent, right? And then move. Because like you waste so much time worrying,
Yeah.
right? We worry and worship. We worry the problem more than we worship like the thing that we should be focused on, right? And it's
Mm-hmm.
like those are two different energies that create two different outcomes. And
Yeah.
so I think for me, it's one, seeing my mom do it over and over and over and over, even now. And then two, my faith gives me that. And three, again, it's not about me because what I need and have to offer, someone else may be in need of that thing. So when I come in and I'm able to help that and I take that risk, and I'm like, yeah, I just got off a phone call literally right now. I'm like, wow, that's amazing. I know this person. They're like, you're interested? And I'm like, I might be, right? And so sometimes it takes processing thought, but it's like faith and just being like able to say, huh, like just open it up, right? Going in, roll on into the sea. You don't know what you're going to discover out there, right? It's
Yep.
okay. I mean, because you know yourself back, right? You can always come back. It's you're not stuck.
Yeah.
So I
Or
guess
you can drop an
um,
anchor right in the middle of the ocean and just rest for a minute. If the
come
current
on,
is overwhelming, you can always press pause, take some deep breaths, and then be like, okay, let me reorient myself. All right, let's get back to this.
you are excellent at that. Like there are times when I'll call Tracy or we're in our messaging app and I'm like, ah, and she's like, okay, take a deep breath. Have you thought about this? Have you written it down? Like I wish I wish I could see like back in this woman's mind and how she operates and processes. It's I'm like, I need a little bit of that. So I mean, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
go ahead.
And I need some of this courage coming up off of you right now. Tell me something that you I am Tasha. I'm gonna take that. I'm not gonna say I'm trying, I'm gonna say I'm doing. I am doing it.
Yeah, and this is not your first rodeo. You have built things, developed things, deployed things, created things, successful at things, put that thing down. You've held dreams and kept courage for things that have been year long, like years long things,
Hmm.
right? Big vision, right? That sometimes people weren't even ready for. So I rebuke that. You are walking in it now. It's just a different boat you might be in right now.
Hmm. I received that. Tell me something that you took a big risk and you got a big payoff for. Like you may have been like, I don't want to do this, I don't want to jump in this rope and double dutch, and then you jump in and it's like, dang, that was the best thing I ever did.
Listen, you guys, when I got pushed out of my corporate job, I was like, OMG. Like it's wild how you can get your identity so wrapped up in that and like the title and the time and the energy you put in that and the investment and the money that you make. And then when that's all stripped, I call it my surrender season. where I had to really surrender and lean in and be like, Lord, what is it you're calling me to? And honey, that was talking about taking a risk. Like, I mean, going from working for like the number one pharmaceutical company in the country, the number one medical device company in the world, like I could have went anywhere else and made even more money, to be honest. But God was like, no, no, like called me to entrepreneurship. I tell people all the time, this was not my idea. I was just willing to say yes, even though I was terrified. And
Yes.
taking that leap into entrepreneurship, it was the best thing. And it happened in this crazy combination of like, before that, you walked me through that season of like trying to get to this promotion and then losing our full-term son in that process and feeling like I don't even know if I really want to be on this earth. And I'll never forget the verse that you gave me. You gave me a book and I still have it and it's dated. And then you gave me the verse, 2 Timothy 1:7. For God does not give us a spirit of fear, but of love, power, and a sound mind, right? I still hang on to that verse and I give it and depart it, like put it on people all the time and share it with them. And it's like, that was part of that huge process. And I still lean on that verse daily. And I always say, my best friend told me this. She gave me this verse and I recite it all the time. And it was like, that was all happening. Just so I want to be very transparent with people is that don't go look at my LinkedIn and think like I woke up like this, like Drake says. No, like, no, like this has been a process of like really leaping and risking and bootstrapping it. It was like no loans, like no bootstrapping it with our cash. And it was all of these emotions and grief and then getting pregnant again and then finally getting the promotion and then getting pushed out of my job 6 months later. It's completely unexpected. I've never had an HR violation or write up, all this crazy stuff to then take the leap and say yes to what God was calling me to. And it was like, I think it's important when you take that leap, it is also important to seek wise counsel. I say that is like, know who your board of directors are. Who are the people that are around you that can speak life into you when you can't do it for yourself? When you're used to being the leader and having the answers, and then you don't, who do you call on? Who believes in you when you really aren't? Because I was there. I didn't even have the strength or I couldn't see it. And it was just literally like stepping, right? This. God says he'll be a lamp unto thy feet. Not like I tell like not the full floodlight, like
Step at
football.
a time. Take that one step.
It's not
And
the
I'll
football.
meet you there.
You ain't staying out 100 yards. No, ma'am. You
Nope.
take that step and you see that
Right. Yes.
like that. But it has been the biggest blessing to be able to be in this space and to come as a leader, but then also making someone else look great and being able to deliver and do what I do well for them and their business on the back half as a consultant. It has been, and also too, like so purposeful because I was like, God, if you tell me to do this, first of all, I talk real like, don't be letting me down. Don't be putting me in places and I ain't where I don't want to do all that. But I mean, that is one of the biggest things. And then I think the second thing was pivoting away from what I once first thought it was. Of like meaningful success coaching and then coming back to my roots of sales. And I had to change my entire website, brand, IP, lead magnets, speaking decks, all of it. And it was literally because, again, another leap. I was like, do it. And when I did, it was like, I said, when I was started out coaching, speaking, then coaching, it was like the best way I can explain is like the faucet was on and it was like, it was trickling. And it was like, okay, this is good. But then when I took that next leap, which felt drastic and again, painful and I had to surrender again, was like the dam broke and it was like floodgate. And it was, and you tell me this ain't God. And it was in the year of the pandemic. One of my biggest years happened in the pandemic. And I was like, this is what risk, faith, anchoring, trusting, leaping, being vulnerable, like risking it. There's no exact formula to it, but you just got to be willing to walk it.
Mm-hmm. And I hear the undercurrent of obedience,
Oh,
like being willing to say yes. So for me, I didn't mean for this to get all spiritual, but it's where we about to go. Like for me, it's been this notion of paying attention to God's yeses. So like I'll go down this path and it's not a yes, but there's a yes over here. And it's like, well, quit trying to chase this thing and go after where are the yeses? Follow the yes. Those are your steps. Follow the yeses. Pay attention to the yeses. And so that's where I've been. This is space I've been sitting now. Is like, okay, I thought it was this, and I spent all this time building this, and no, that ain't it, boo. It's this.
yep. Yeah. Yeah. And I'll say this. I even say it to my clients. Not all my clients are faith based or whatever. I just tell people I have to be transparent and honest. I cannot sit here and lie to you and act like I just manufacture all this. Like, no, I'm very clear and I'm not going to be out of alignment. So it is both, it's just me. It's a part of me.
Mhm.
And it,
Who you are, yeah. And so, if nothing was holding you back, speaking of
oh
courage, if nothing was holding you back, what would your next chapter of leadership look and feel like?
gosh, honestly, right where I am. I am I more of where I am. Like I have gotten to a place, I've tried a lot of things. I've done a lot of things, and not unless something's been created and manufactured for me, and I'm like, it would be the perfect thing. Like if it came, fine. But right where I am now, more of it. So like it continuing to grow and I get to serve, show up and lead like this is like, I'm good. Like
Hmm.
I'm not in chase mode anymore, or like, let me figure it out. Let me build this. Maybe it can look that way. And then I'm like, no, like I know what I do well. I know how I show up and consult and contract and serve and lead. It's just like, I love what I do. And I'm like, yes, and more, please, of just this right here. Like right here, continue to do this thing right here and not really chasing anything else. Now, if the Lord wants to do something bigger and better and He has equipped me for it, then I'm available. But me creating something, I think that I think I'm good right here because I think sometimes we get caught up trying to chase something and
Hmm.
miss things because you're like, but it should, like you said, it should be like this and it should look like this. Been there, and it's like, no, like I'm good. I'm good. Yes, and more of this, please.
I love that. I love that because I remember the beginning. I've watched the journey.
You have seen
So
it.
yeah, it's a blessing to hear that come out of your mouth. Last question. What do you want your legacy of leadership to be?
Oh, man, I would say that she leads with integrity, loves well beyond performance. Like I love people. Like so whoever I'm leading is that I love them well. Um, integrity, loving people well. And I think the impact, right? How did I make or leave people feeling, right? Because that goes way beyond metrics, numbers, money, but it's like, did I change someone? And honestly, even out of leadership, but who I am as a friend, when I'm going through, even like right now, walking through hard things with friends and I'm up till 12, whatever. I like that makes my heart beat is can I lead and love someone well in that moment? Like what impact I have on them. Like to hear someone say, you being here for me is like everything and them crying, like that is what this life is about. It's like, how am I impacting people? And am I loving them well? And am I doing it with integrity? Like that part right there. If we could all focus on our other people more, there are so many people out here hurting that need leadership, that are leaders that need leadership, or people who are not leaders yet. Like, it's like, do you care about the person?
Hmm.
Right? Care about the person. How are you making them feel? Right. And that's impact. That's lasting. That's generational. What when I'm gone, what will people be like? Your mom, blah, 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 blah. Right? I want that. I want my son to have that legacy that lives on. And for those things to be in him. Like I tell him, you're a great athlete, you're smart, you're da 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 da. He's well, he's articulate, he's all these things, and people come up and randomly brag on him. And I like at the end of the day, but are you a good human? Are you what do people say about you when you're not around? That
Hmm.
like that right there. I want that kind of like purity and pouring out, right? To come.
I love that. I love that. Leading and loving people well. Yeah. And as you're saying that, I'm looking at you and I'm like, I feel like I am looking at Miss Freeman. And I feel like I am listening to Miss Freeman. And I feel like she is describing Mama Freeman. So I know that she is ultra proud of the daughter that she has raised and the ways in which you are impacting the world around you. And I'm just grateful to call you my friend for a
Oh,
lifetime.
no, I was gonna say, and the beautiful thing about this is like seeing you soar and do this and because I'm serious about praying for my friends, I'll be playing around. Like is you have so much to give. And what's so crazy is to look at you is that you have been this your whole life. Like when I think about the little girl you were with all that hair and that big old smile and the dimple, like you have been this your whole life. And to see it go through adversity and grief and like all the things, it's just like, it makes me so daggum proud. And it makes me say, if y'all don't see this, like they do online now, if you don't see, I recommend my friend, I'm mad, right? Because you just, but you know what? I don't even have to worry about because I know God's got you. That's one thing. Period. End of story. I know that. And I just can't wait for more and more and more to receive what I get to freely. Like, thank you for being my friend. And we have been through everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm so freaking proud of you. And I can't wait for more people to be impacted by what you've created. Like, it's just getting started. Like, let's go.
Mutual. What we're not gonna do is we're not gonna close this out with tears. But let me
I
go
know.
this up. Thank you for joining us, leaders, at the end of the week wind down. I'm Dr. Tracy Simone, your go-to strategist, facilitator, and coach, queen of clarity and care, helping you get unstuck and get things done so that you can build a legacy that lasts. I will see you next Friday. Thank you for your time. Bye. If this conversation sparked something in you, don't stop here. Watch my free on-demand masterclass, How to Lead Without Losing Yourself. It's 1 hour of clarity, strategy, and truth for leaders navigating growth, change, and complexity. Scan the QR code to start your reset.